Walking in a winter wonderland. I know it's not Christmas, but it is a winter wonderland outside. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, Luke Hatmaker. Well, you know what? I say winter wonderland. I'm a few hours east of you, good sir Buckets. It's been snowing all morning for you, has it not?
Brother, it's coming down. I got just over 5 inches in my yard. This
What?
is my dog Shelby's first ever snow, and she has been tearing it up out there. It's like she it took her a few, probably good minute because she's a bit anxious, a bit skittish. It is what it is.
Yes.
But once it processed, it's been like crack cocaine to her. She has been just running laps and diving in the snow and sliding on her belly and having an absolute ball out there. So yeah, 5 inches here in East Memphis, and it is still coming down.
Man, I got a dog that it's going to be his first snow, and I'm just waiting for him to get out the bed and just be like, what is that? Because he's not quite as anxious. He's a little crazy. He's more like my cat noises that I do. Yeah. So I'm really excited for him to see the snow.
Dude, she got outside. She looked at it. She looked at me and looked around like, I don't know what this is.
Is this okay? Is this okay?
Yeah, like this is not my yard.
This is not my yard. Well, you know, last night's game wasn't quite the Grizzlies' yard. I don't know if that's a good transition, but we're gonna use it anyway. For those of you who watched the game, you were in the building. The Memphis Grizzlies lost to the Houston Rockets 119 to 115. Where would you like to start? Would you like to talk about the coaching? Would you like to talk about the fouls? Would you like to talk about the turnovers? Would you like to talk about my cat just knocking over a whole shelf of stuff? We got a whole mess of things we could start with, but since you were in the building, I would like to hear where you want to start.
I'd like to start with this cup that we got. These are awesome cups for the game last night. Yeah, the throwback Grizzly cup. God. I'm like, it's cool because like I went up there I was getting a beer and I wanted one of the cups and Maggie was like, "Do we need to get one now?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't want them to run out, you know."
Yeah.
So I asked the lady. I was like, do y'all got plenty of those cups?" She's like, "Oh, I just got a new shipment. Plenty." I was like, "Okay, good. I'll come back and get one later." She looks around. She grabs two. It's like, "You ain't got to buy them here. You can have them." Oh, let's go.
Shout out her.
So that was the best part of the night. And then from there, I think we should let's start with turnovers because those started early. And then the coaching decisions down the stretch were a bit abysmal. But the turnovers, man, 18 turnovers excuse me. 19? We had 19 turnovers to their 12 turnovers. And it just felt like they kept coming at inopportune time after inopportune time. And then this offense, man, like I like it. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But like I kept saying it last night. We just keep looking for one too many passes. At some point, pardon my French, shoot the damn ball. Like, why are we within 3 feet of the cup looking for a kick out every damn time? Make a freaking shot, man. It's so annoying.
Yeah, last night was very good. Just amalgamation, if that's a word, of what you're talking about, because they just kept. It's that thing where it's not like it's Wembanyama up there blocking the the paint. Like it's just a normal Joe. It's a basketball big, you know, like you can just go in there, you take your shot, take the shot and don't go for a pass that is an ill-advised pass to begin with that ends up either you're getting deflected or going out of bounds. Because one thing that also happened last night is we are not very good about getting points off these turnovers, whereas every other team, they had 14 points off turnovers in the first quarter.
Yes, and like Desmond Bane, if one more time he had so many times the ball would come to him, and instead of grabbing it and then making a basketball move or passing it, he would try and tap it to somebody, and he got intercepted 3 times. I don't understand that's not a smart basketball play.
Not a basketball move.
Yeah, you're a veteran at this point, leading a young team. 2 hands on the ball and make a play. This little tap in traffic was a horrible idea, and he did it about 3 or 4 times last night.
Yeah, I love Desmond, but after the second one, I'd have been like, bro, cut cut that out.
If I was TJ, I'd have tore my rotator cuff trying to get his butt out of that game, pointing at Jalen Wells or something, which we'll get to Jalen Wells here in a minute. I am big salty about Jalen Wells this morning. Like, look, there's a lot coming up. I'm not trying to jump ahead. I cannot wait for a consolidation trade so Taylor Jenkins can quit playing Jake LaRavie in the damn fourth quarter. Luke Kennard down the stretch in the fourth quarter. Like, no defense from those cats whatsoever. I mean, they made Jayshawn Tate last night look like freaking Michael Jordan down the stretch. Like, it was abysmal.
And we were talking, and you sent the text. Like, man, Tate's getting everything, and I was like, man, it's bad when we're upset about Tate getting these calls.
I mean, he's getting the superstar call. Like, he got away with every flop and flail, and same with Şengün. Like, Şengün's up there on my list now. People that I don't like to watch play basketball because they just flopped and flailed, and they got every call. It was tight. The whistle was really tight on Houston's end, and then they could get away with misdemeanor assault on the other end. And they wouldn't call anything. I just wanted consistency, and there was none from the officials last night.
Yeah, let's move to that. There were 71 free throws last night. And that's a lot. And just like they had 41 and we had 30. So they had 11 more free throws than like that's a lot anyway. That's a lot of trips to the line anyway.
Yeah.
But 11 more.
Yeah.
And when you can, like you said, Şengün and his ticky-tacky flip-floppy, it's like when you can be like, well, if you take 5 of them out right there and they're Şengün's, it's gross.
It's so gross. And then the other, like when Jaren got his tech, it wasn't from the official next to him. It wasn't from the official just behind him. It was from that soft-ass official, pardon my French, on the other end of the floor down there getting his feelings hurt for whatever. Like the 2 officials that were within striking distance or at least hearing distance of Jaren didn't give him a tech. But the one on the other end of the floor does. Like it was so foolish, man. So foolish.
There might not be a single thing on this planet in the sports world that makes me angrier more than when an officiator and a referee not near the play in any sport, in basketball, in football, when he's the one throwing the flag or calling the foul, that makes me so mad because that's a dude getting all up in his feels and being like, bro, you don't stop it.
From 30 feet away. It was an uncalled for tech. It was stupid. And I wanted Taylor to get one because of the disparity. Like it ended up not being that bad, 28 and 23, the fouls, but NBA teams average about 22 fouls per game. We got our 22nd foul with like 4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Like, I don't understand like why it's such a, I kept telling Maggie last night, which by the way, we had a great time. She's phenomenal to go to games with. 10 out of 10. Recommend going to games with
You
Maggie.
Guys look like you had a good time.
Had a blast, man. Had great seats. Pinnacle level is where it's at because you're close, but you're not on top of it. You're not at the top. You got your own little like area there with the bars and bathrooms. Pinnacle level is where it's at, man. That's where my season seats are. It's amazing. Great call. But I digress. I kept telling her last night, like, this is the longest first quarter. This is the longest third quarter because there was no rhythm. It was very choppy with the fouls and free throws and side outs and sloppy turnovers, throwing the ball out of bounds. Like, there just wasn't a good basketball rhythm to the game last night, and it showed on our offense for sure. Well,
and you're talking about how there was like no rhythm in either one of those quarters. Both those quarters, there was also absolutely zero defense played in the first and the third. I mean, the Rockets had 45 points in the first, 33 in the third, and I mean, we had 36 in the first and 29 in the third. Like, there was just a lot of points scored in the first and the third.
Yeah, like you said, defense was optional last night. Like, it just wasn't a great game. And I know, like, I saw some of the stuff last night about Ja and Dez and Santi coming back, which it did my heart so good to watch Santi hoop last night.
Dude,
we missed Santi. But
happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to the Spanish assassin, Santiago Aldama.
24, if you want to feel
24.
old.
Wow, that's wild. I do feel old.
Yep.
But, like, if Ja could play 29 minutes last night, why couldn't he have played 34? Or 33. Like, that's my big thing. Well, I know we're going to get to all of that, but like,
let's get into it right now. Let's get into these minutes. The coaching after we have praised what TJ has done recently. The dude played 11 guys last night and didn't seem to know what lineup he was playing. Like, last night was not good in terms of, I mean, it was 3.5 minutes left. John Jaren still weren't playing or something like that. 5.5.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand why John Morant is still sitting when there's 3 minutes and 29 seconds left on the clock. Like, it wasn't his best night, but there for a bit in the third quarter, he was kind of out the jaw. He was driving, he was hitting layups. He was getting to the bucket and giving us some juice that we desperately needed. And Taylor's like, ooh, analytics, I got to put in Jake LaRavia. And he pulls him out. Like, our Houston's bench players played 55 minutes last night. You want to take a guess at how much our bench players played?
Oh man, I was looking at it. A 78, 85, 90.
108 minutes from our bench last night.
Whoa.
108. Again, for all the praise I've given Taylor, we had another night where our bench played their starters an insane amount of minutes. I don't understand. And we're in year 6, and he's still saying, I don't know. That's on me. I'll have to reevaluate. Yeah, just didn't play. I got to do better. Like, bro, we're in year 6, man. Like you're not Marshawn Lynch. You can't just sit up there and say, I'm not here to get fined. Like, give me something to show me that you're going to turn this thing around and not do this tomfoolery in the playoffs.
108 minutes out of your bench is crazy. And I know you got guys back. I know you got Santi coming back, but like, that's a lot.
By the time Houston made their first sub of the night, we'd already played 10 different players. By the time Houston subbed their first one, it's goofy.
That is, and you will not be winning a playoff game. You won't win a playoff series like that. You
won't make the playoffs. One of those teams last night was a playoff team, and I'm not like hair on fire, world's falling apart. It feels like it because I was in the building. It felt like a playoff game. Like the fans felt it, Houston felt it, but there was no sense of urgency on the Memphis side. It was, Taylor looking at his analytics sheet or Waffle House menu, whatever he has in his pocket, and not participating in the game in front of him. Because, yes, you can blame the 19 turnovers because those were a bummer. But you can also blame the fact that, once again, Jake LaRavia is playing way too many minutes down the stretch when it matters. Luke Kennard is playing way too many minutes down the stretch when it matters. And, if I'm climbing, I'm on the phone today consolidating this team. And I'm like you can only have 9 players on the bench, period. Like, you can't have any more than that, period.
Man, it's so fun. One, Waffle House menu is hilarious. Imagine him being like, diced, covered, smothered. Go, boys.
Diced, covered, smash. Go.
So good. That's great. I like what you said. Like, we did not feel like a play. Like, you were in the building. It didn't feel like that. We had that. Because from the TV, on the TV, and I'm not bad mouthing these guys, Jalen Wells and Zach Edey looked like rookies last night. Did it feel like that in the building? I don't know and honestly, I think a lot of that was maybe TJ not giving them a chance to get a rhythm because they only played 20 minutes. Like, I don't really know. Yeah. I'm just curious in the building. Edey, how did it feel?
Edey, very much so. Same. He's trying to he has switched just like Dez from instead of grabbing rebounds to try and tap them out, and he never one time tapped it to a single Memphis Grizzly. It was either out of bounds or right to Amen Thompson or something. Jalen Wells, I'm salty about. He didn't have it on offense, but I would rather live and die with Jalen Wells in the fourth quarter than Jake LaRavia. At least Jalen's going to give you a defensive effort. Jake didn't give anything last night. Yeah. And I would much rather take my lumps and bumps and say, hey, you know what? We lost by 4 last night, but Jalen Wells got some real experience in that fourth quarter playing, and he got none. He got basically 0 minutes in the fourth quarter. And I would much rather live and die by Jalen Wells than Luke Kennard and Jake LaRavia, who are very likely gone in the next month anyway.
Yeah, which let's that's a good transition. Let's transition because you believe, and honestly, I think if you watch the product line, when DeMichael Coe, shout out to Michael, for the commercial appeal, a guy that Grizzlies beat writer loves this team, is out there being like, man, what the hell? What the hell with these rotations? We got to figure something out. It's not just us as homers, it's everyone is seeing it. This team, as currently constructed, does not happen. So that leads me to a certain player that you and I have been on. You in particular, I feel like I've been on this guy for a long time. One, Cam Johnson. Because I think it's time. I think last night showed, would you make that trade? The Grizzlies need to make some sort of trade if just to get some of these bodies out of the way for TJ not to be able to pull from. I don't. It's like I said, you got 9, and that's who you're playing. I like it. Yeah. If you need, and it does seem like currently, well, with Jimmy Butler not wanting to play in Memphis, which whatever. We're not gonna talk about that.
He's a
Whatever.
bum. I don't want to talk about him on the show
Yep,
ever
yep.
again.
Nope. We gave him an episode, and I regretted it within
That's it.
12 hours of doing it.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Again, he's the ultimate. Like I said on Twitter, he is the ultimate I can fix her type player, and he did exactly what he always does. Right?
I can fix it. That's great. So so it looks like with Jimmy Butler out of the way, looks like Cam Johnson and Mark Stein reported that this is someone that the Grizzlies. They're very much interested in him. I'm gonna get the exact quote. I got it in front of me right now. So he says not having it in front of him. So this is what was said about this. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Frequently mentioned as a landing spot for Brooklyn's sharpshooting wing. But it is unclear how eager the Grizzlies are to return to the trade table with Brooklyn. This is, of course, after the Dorian Finney-Smith stuff, which reportedly left some bad blood. I mean,
I've heard that that's not going to be as big of a deal as people think. I've heard through some sources that the Memphis Grizzlies are like sitting on Marcus Smart, hoping to have those conversations.
Yes, which honestly, if you're going to get that butt hurt over DFS,
I could get over it real quick if Cam Johnson's back on the table.
100%. And so I just wanted. So this is from Sports Illustrated, and this is a 3-team trade that gets Cam Johnson to Memphis, which I'm the more and more
feels like it's going to happen.
Feels like it's going to be a 3-team trade, and it just seems like
it's going to have to make the math and the picks come out and all that.
100%. I mean, you just to make it make sense, you got to get a third team in there. So this is a trade involving the Atlanta Hawks, which seem to be go Hawks. They
like a crow, but all right.
Yeah, go Crows. This is a trade involving these 3 teams.
Okay.
If I can find it. There we go. Okay. So in this is a trade between the Atlanta Hawks, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Memphis Grizzlies. In this trade, the Atlanta Hawks would get Nick Claxton, John Conchar, Trendon Watford, a 2nd-round pick from us, and two second rounders from us in 2026 and 2031, too far out second rounders. The Nets would get Marcus Smart, Onyeka Okongwu, Luke Kennard, Cody Zeller, Kobe Buffkin, and 1, 2, 3 firsts. So we would give away 3 firsts. One of them is not our own. One's that we got that one weird first from Milwaukee, Atlanta, that it's all over the place. And we would get Cam Johnson and Larry Nance Jr. Yep.
I'd do that in a heartbeat. Are you
I would
kidding
do
me?
that. This is Sports Illustrated. This is Sports Illustrated. Like, this isn't
today. Like, it consolidates a lot of the loose contracts. Although Jake LaRavia is still here, which I would trade him for a spicy chicken biscuit at this point. But it helps you get some scoring that fits the timeline in Cam Johnson, a big body in Larry Nance Jr., who can be a bruiser and an enforcer down low, who can get you rebounds and can be a bucket at times.
And who will not get played off the floor in the playoffs.
Will not get played off the floor in the playoffs. He's a very athletic big. Yes, I would do that trade all day today and twice on Sundays for sure.
Out of all of the ones that I've found, and I was trying to find out because I hate bringing trades up on here where it's like, if this isn't going to happen, this is just content. Like this is content fodder for us to have something to talk about. This one, I was like, because in this one,
I can see that
Atlanta's getting pieces. They've got John Conchar would help their rotation, and Nick Claxton's a good big. Nick Claxton gives them an athletic big that would help them.
It would help with the vacuum that Larry Nance Jr. leaves. Like he could step into that same type of role.
Yes, Brooklyn gets a couple expiring contracts that they can move off of. They also get a bunch of 1st-round picks,
which is what they want.
And Okongwu is a good guy. Like
that's a good prospect. Yeah, for sure.
That's a piece. And then, like I said, we get Cam Johnson and Larry Nance Jr. 2 win now players that are playoff ready, one in their prime. Like,
yeah. I mean, I can't say enough. Like, if I'm climbing, I'm like done. Like, deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, slam the gavel down. Like, let's do it because that checks all the boxes for what we need to consolidate and bring back talent. And I'll just tell you, man, like as constructed, like watching the game last night in person, like. I know Udoka, the coach for Houston, is like, he is what he is, but like he has an edge, and Houston plays with that same edge. They embody their coach. They're tough. That's a playoff team.
Yes.
What I saw last night was very hesitant, unsure, and not a playoff team from Memphis embodying Taylor Jenkins. Like, I hate to use the 4-letter S word, but we might be soft. And like, we need some toughness and some scoring. Larry Nance Jr. could be that tough guy. Cam Johnson can come in and score. Absolutely, we do that trade.
I agree. And the only, I swear to God, if Luke Kennard comes in here and exercises that no trade clause in that, I'd be quite frustrated. But in my mind, like, Luke Kennard is not a piece for the Nets in that. Like, maybe they let somebody buy him out. You know, like, he's an expired.
That's 100% will happen. Is he'll get bought out, and then he could go to a contender that needs shooting. That's 100% will happen. Yep. And then Marcus Smart will be that vet piece for Brooklyn. They kind of helped him, which they have said they like him.
They like him.
The only thing I could also see is they also really like John Conchar. And so maybe there's another piece. Maybe Conchar goes to Brooklyn and we send Jake LaRavia's State Farm ass to Atlanta and get him out of here. Like,
I need to go in and because the good thing about the Grizzlies roster is there are a couple dudes that there's contracts that you can piece together if you want to keep Jitty and move other but to me, this one, I'm with you. Like, I would make this trade in a heartbeat. And it also it lessens that S word you mentioned. Both these guys aren't. Neither one of those players are soft. You know, and also they stay on the floor. I don't know.
They play. Cam Johnson fits the timeline, man. Like, he's young. He's still on a relatively rookie deal. Like, he's on a very cheap deal for what he is. He's shooting 42% from three this year. Like, we desperately need that kind of help. Also, he's 6'8", and you cannot tell me like a lineup of death being Ja, Dez, Gigi, Vince, or Jalen / there. Cam Johnson and Jaren Jackson Jr. down the stretch in the fourth quarter is going to feed families. Like, that's offense, that's defense, that's athleticism, that's get up and down the floor. As long as Taylor plays them more than the last 3.5 minutes of the game, that's a team to be reckoned with.
Man, can you imagine us trading for him and then TJ being like, I'm not going to play him.
Oh, you're going to play 26 minutes a game, Cameron. That's all you get. And I'm going to go to Waffle House.
Cameron.
Dear God, man. Right.
Calling him Cameron is really good. I almost put Cameron in the name at the bottom. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Cameron Johnson sounds like a
Bobby Hill over there coaching him. Like, you're only going to get 25 minutes tonight, Cameron. I know you got 30 points, but that's all I can do.
That's all I can handle. I love that. Sorry, this is my favorite TJ voice. So to answer your question on my question that I proposed, would you make that trade? We both would make that trade yesterday. Yep. Before the snow started, we would have made that trade. So let's take a quick break because when we get back, we are going to talk about the weekend. We're going to talk about, I don't know if we're going to have a snowy. I mean, we are going to have a snowy weekend, but I don't know what we're going to be able to do, but we're still going to talk about it. Right? Oh, wait. The weekend outlook. There we go. I had to do it. I almost forgot. We're going to talk about the weekend outlook right after this break.
The Grizzlies have 3 bad home losses. Brooklyn, Chicago, and this one. We're too early in the season to have that many bad home losses.
Yeah, and the other thing for me is, I talk about the 10-game sets.
Right.
They're 2 and 3 in this 10-game set. They were 6 and 4 in the first one. I said, if you can go 6 and 4 for an entire year, and then win those 2 games, or at least split those 2 games, it puts you at 49 or 50 wins. And that you can feel good about that. Now you're 2 and 3, and you don't want to. Why you're saying that for me is you don't want to have to look back so many times and say, "Man, what if we would have?"
And when you give games away, or don't take games that you feel like you should, you want to make those up somewhere else, and. You just don't want that list to get too long. Well, check off the Chicago one, and then keep going down the list.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Jake has had a great season, all things considered. Jake LaRavia in his 3rd season. He's showing the league, the Grizzlies fans, that he is a competent NBA player, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm fine with just that he's proven that he's an actual player in the NBA, because he was not showing us that for the last couple of years. He's been a very pleasant surprise, and almost a necessary surprise with guys like Vince Williams out. I just think we as a fan base just have to calm down. Like, we've seen him he's one of the true build-a-bear projects, like I say, with this organization and with this team, where they take a guy and give him every opportunity to succeed. Opportunities at other teams. I mean, most teams, a guy like Jake the Raven would not have made it to this point. So, like I said, he's gone from being a guy who's looked terrible to a guy who's looked like a competent NBA player. And I'm fine with just kind of stopping it right there.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. My favorite thing about our show is becoming that my outdated commercials that I'm just like getting, and I made this one. They're like they're months outdated, where it's like we're talking about Jake LaRavia being good, and then we were like, we spent a whole 20 minutes being like, get his ass out of here.
I was ready for spicy chicken biscuits to keep playing.
I love it.
Jacob, you're gone.
It's like it feels like the show is happening in the past and the future. I love it. I'm like Wayno. Anyway, I digress. You can catch that show. We got the Anthony Sane Show. That will be today's Friday, right? Yeah, the Anthony Sane Show. That's every Wednesday and Friday at noon. We've got the $2 Sports Show that broadcasts live. They go live every Tuesday and Thursday at noon, your lunch o'clock hour. We've got the Grizz 901 live postgame show that's live after every postgame. It's the best postgame show out there during the week.
Yeah, so real quick, I need some blood here. Wayno said on the show last night, I have a screenshot that he's going to get a $2 Sports Show tattoo on his chest.
Oh,
and two things. I need this to happen. Wayno, I'm sorry you slept in and you're watching this late.
I said you ain't even here.
No, I was driving home, so I missed it. I need the context, and when are we getting it? Because I'm in.
Yep. $2 Sports Show tattoos, they're happening. You can't get those at bluffcitymedia.co, but you can get the likenesses of the $2 for your tattoos at bluffcitymedia.co. We also got No Bluffing there earlier in the week. Those cats are great. Got a lot going on. Night Court Podcast. Got an ad for them. Probably should remember that. Check them out. Bluffcitymedia.co. But back to our show. So on this show, around here, on Friday, we look forward to the weekend, like Sean Connery's Ghost, R.I.P. Ghosts have weekends, I imagine. My weekend is going to be spent within the confines of my house, because I don't believe I'm going to be. I mean, since we started the show, I think the ground is completely covered. It was not covered when I started. It's completely covered. The snow is coming down. Yeah. And if there's anything that Tennessee as a state knows how to do, it's how to not function during winter weather. We are great at that. We shut this MFR down. It's awesome. So, and we Instacarted groceries the other day, got all the stuff we need, got plenty of coffee. The Grizzlies play this weekend. I got a show to binge. I'm not leaving the house. I'm going to have I might leave to sled. There's a golf cars. There's a golf cars. Golf cars. So, Jesus. We
talked about this before the show. Is going to be one of those things.
I know. So I'm so sorry. Golf cars. Got to drive through golf carts to get to my house. When it snows, they shut this sucker down, and then it's just they're great sledding hills. It's kind of a hilly golf course, and so I might go trek out there, go sledding. I don't have a sled, so I use my belly. Like a penguin, I just run and so it's great. All the other people are like, "What is that dude doing?" I'm really excited. That's what I'm going to be doing. And
I just picture you. Yeah, I just picture you like the penguin on the old Mario Nintendo 64 video game. Remember in the ice castle where they're just like
that's literally me. I don't talk to anybody. I just
waddle.
I'd make video game noises.
Perfect.
Awesome. It's awesome.
I love it. I ain't got no plans this weekend. I was supposed to go see my grandfather in South Mississippi, but with all the snow and stuff, like I'm not getting out of here. So I'll probably go to the gym here in a little bit. I'm monitoring my clinics. I got, patients are being seen via telehealth. We've basically shut them down today, just because if they can make it, they can come in. We've got PTs that made it in, but we've switched everything to virtual telehealth visits. So yeah, I'm going to just kind of lounge around today, take Shelby for a walk and let her experience snow for the first time, which will be fun. Maggie's working this weekend, so I'm sure I'll see her like in the evenings like I typically do. I'll probably watch. I've got some books. That's the thing. I've got a couple books I'm trying to finish.
Yeah.
Which is kind of perfect. It's called the Black Winter series by Darcy Coates. It's this like post-apocalyptic futuristic world where like something happened. I'm not going to spoil it. It's 4 books. Something happened, and like there are people, and then there are what are called hollows, and it's the story of these people trying to navigate the world with these hollows. And
is the event that happened the Thunder won the championship? Is that what happened?
It could be the fact that the Rockets are ahead of us in their playoff and championship progression. That could be it as well. That's a
what
real
happened.
thing. Because that's a real thing.
That's real.
But yes, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna drink coffee. I'm gonna kick my feet up and just enjoy the snow, man. I love the snow. Just my favorite thing. Like I grew up in all over the state of Mississippi, South Central, North. I didn't get a ton of it growing up.
Yep.
And so maybe that's why I'm not sick of it. But I'm just like, I'll probably just have the blinds open and just be sitting like this.
Dude, same. And if you grow up in like that, if you grow up south of the Mason-Dixon line, I don't blame us that we don't, that our weathermen are so bad that we don't know how to, we get so excited for snow because half the time we don't know it's coming. Today it's be 70 and sunny outside, and this is what's happening.
There you go. In the South, a snow day is like a college football championship up north. It just doesn't happen all that often, and so we don't know what to do.
Oh God, that really made me laugh. Which go Irish, I guess. The Irish.
Listen, man. Like I put big money on the Irish last night. They won me a clean $100, and I got money on Ohio State to beat Texas. I picked Ohio State, Notre Dame for a national championship. I picked both of them teams when the playoffs first started. So also
did you really?
That? Yep. So like I stay in a really good chance. If Ohio State wins and Notre Dame and Ohio State play in the national championship game, drinks are on your boy because I'm going to hit. I picked that as soon as the playoffs started, man.
That's a good on you, brother. That's a good bet, and that's gonna.
I got good odds, man.
That's the best outcome we got for a football game too. Hopefully, that's going to be the.
Yeah, I think so.
Love it.
Penn State is the fakest tough team in the world. They have a soft schedule, and Notre Dame does too. Now, I think Ohio State's going to smack Notre Dame in the national championship game because, again, I think those two teams were kind of the fake tough teams. I think the winner of Texas and Ohio State is really going to be the national champ. But Ohio State runs the ball well, or Notre Dame runs the ball well. They play pretty good defense, and I like Marcus Freeman a whole lot. Like I like their coach. He turned 39 years old today, and he's playing for a national championship. Like I like Marcus Freeman a lot.
I know. We're sidebarring a little bit.
Listen, this is snow day.
It's Friday. As a Bears fan, the second most irritating notification I get on my phone, other than Grizzlies PR notifications, are the Bears are interviewing blah 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 as their new head coach because I've got a list this long. Marcus Freeman was on there. I don't know if that's real, but I love Marcus Freeman.
I love that. That would be amazing.
Huge.
You're talking to a fan of the Tennessee Titans, the most mishandled franchise in all of sports. We fired our GM to keep the coach. We fired the coach to keep the GM. We fired the GM and kept the coach. Like, what are we doing? All in a span of 3 years, man. The moment we traded AJ Brown on draft night, just the franchise imploded, and it's just we're literally in the wreckage, and the rest, all of us that are fans, are sitting in the ashen mess, like. What is happening to our franchise?
Derrick Henry was just here.
Yeah, and AJ Brown was 1,000-yard receiver. What are we doing?
man, dude, we need to have a Titans episode because losing Vrabel, Brown, and Henry, like you can talk about like class act mismanagement.
Oh my God, it's like Amy, it's just struck. It's just trying to
Amy Ryan.
Yeah, Amy Adams is just trying to absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm just so flustered. Can't think of it. Anyway, she's trying to just tank it, drive it into the ground to sell it for cheap. I don't know, because you don't make these boneheaded decisions like this on a whim. Like Rand Carthy didn't get a chance. Like he had one season and didn't give him a chance to do anything. And you keep Callahan and Mayo boy at quarterback. Like I don't get it, man. I'm grateful for the Grizzlies, even though they're pissing me off right now. I'm grateful for the Grizzlies. And Mississippi State basketball is good. We're projected as a 2 seed in the NCAA tournament right now. We got Kentucky tomorrow, and that's a statement game. So go Dogs. Go
Dogs, baby. Go Grizzlies and go Dogs. That's going to do it for our show today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Stay safe out there, y'all. If you're in the South, stay safe in the winter. If you're out West, stay safe in these fires. I don't know how many people in California watch the show, but Kyla, her job, she's an administrator for a school out in LA, and they've canceled school all week. It's a nightmare out there. So if you're in California, stay safe. If you're in the South, stay safe. Stay safe if you're everywhere else. Just stay safe. Just take care of yourself. Just be safe. Have a great weekend. We will be back Monday. Have a good weekend. Have a good day at work. If we can leave you with anything today, remember these two things. Remember just to be a little bit weird, and remember to smile, guys. See y'all. Have a good day. We'll be back on Monday.